Hello and welcome back to another episode of YourRaw. Now I know it's been a while. I've got a couple in the pipeline to do. I'm just going to do them when I've got time, so bear with me on them. But if you like this type of thing and the way I edit and things like that, then please join my community area on YouTube. It's $1.99 a month. And I do put regular videos up, some that are non-scenes, some are up for just the community, personal edits, things like that. And moving forward, we will probably have group meetups as well and other things in the pipeline. So let's get on to the YourRaw. So first of all, thank you, Dave Peck, for sending me in 3 images. So I've gone through them and I'm going to choose this tidal bell from Hitsborough on the east coast. Now I've actually been here before, so I can actually relate to the image a little bit, and I think that is so important when you're editing something. It's actually that connection to the image. So to edit someone else's image, as a disconnect there, so it's very difficult to actually sort of see the vision of that morning. Okay, let's get into the edit. First thing I'm going to do is actually just study the image for a moment and just see what I want from the image and just have a little look at it. Now, it's a very blue hour shot with the sun just about rising, maybe half an hour before sunrise, something like that. It's obvious that it's tried to catch the motion of these waves, and I want to bring that out. I also want to bring out a little bit more colour in the image as well, and obviously bring out the subject, which is the bell, which is in quite a bit of shadow. So first thing we'll do is do some general adjustments. So we'll up the shadows, bring that bell into play, and if you can just see how much blue is in the image, if I up the temperature, how everything turns yellow. So there's a lot of blue in that shot. And I also want to bring the texture out in the water as well, which I'm going to try and do that. We'll just correct that temperature just slightly. I'm just going to up it just a slight little bit. Okay. We're going to bring the whites up. We're going to drop down the highlights a little bit, like so. But I'm actually going to bring the exposure up a little bit as well. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, now we're starting to bring the detail out in the tidal bell. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and remove these little, looks like little pebbles within the water. So I'm just going to grab the remove tool, paste over these here, these little areas here. Now I might actually crop some of this out, but I'm going to remove them anyway. But we'll see. Brilliant. It's done a brilliant job. So we'll just have a quick look at that. That's done a great job, and it's just tidied it up. There's just a little bits of distraction there. It just wanted tidying up. And the other thing, if we go to the remove tool again, visualize spots. There's a fair few dust spots on the lens there. So what we'll do is we'll just grab the eel tool and we'll just run over those very quickly. Image tidied. We've got a good base now to process this image. I'm just tempted to have a look at the crop because I like a 16:9 crop, and I think this will work quite well in this situation. So let's just have a little look. See, I like that, so I'm going to stick with it. we'll just check actually the horizon straight. I think it is, but we'll just check. So we'll just grab the angle tool and we'll draw across the horizon like so. It's just off, just super slightly. There we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. That looks so much better already. The next thing I want to do is I'm just going to up the DA slightly. Right, so that will introduce a little bit more saturation. So then I'm going to drop the saturation back down again. I want to bring, if possible, a little bit of colour to the image, just a little bit, because we've got some in the background there, in the sky. So what I'm actually going to do is select a linear grad. We're going to come down from the top, quite a tight linear grad, put it on actually on the horizon like so. We're going to drop the exposure a little bit, just a little touch like so, and I'm actually going to bring that DAs up again, which will bring a little bit of detail in. What we've got to watch with that is we don't bring too much in, because it also introduces noise as well, and we don't want that. I'm going to select another grad. I'm going to come up from the bottom, and I'm going to put this one on the same angle as the wave, and then again I'm just going to drop the exposure slightly there. Brilliant, that looks fantastic. The next thing I'm going to do is select a brush, and I'm going to have a little mess around with clarity and texture. So I'm actually going to up the texture, but I'm going to drop the clarity. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint over the moving parts of the water, all this spray, because what it does is it brings in movement and also the texture, and I think it works really well. And if we just adjust the texture slightly, we can see that it brings in loads more detail. If we drop the clarity, it also brings in movement. And this is a little bit of trial and error with it to see how you want it to look. So if we have a look at the before and after of that effect, there we go. It's just brought a little bit of punch back into it. Don't know whether you can see that. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that we've got movement and texture. Fantastic. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a radial grad, and I'm going to bring it right across the middle there, and I'm just going to up the exposure just slightly. Oh, now doesn't that just pop? That's so much more. And what it's done, it's given a little bit of depth to the image. That's fantastic. I'm so pleased with that. So just that one filter is brought so much depth to the image, because it was quite flat as well. So let's see if we can introduce a little bit of colour. It might be difficult just because the initial colours of the image itself, it's almost pure blue. Now, first of all, with the blues, saturation, I'm going to drop the saturation down the blues a little bit. Not too much, because it just makes it black and white. I want a little bit in there. It's blue hour at the end of the day. I want something around there. I'm going to see what colours we can introduce with the yellows and the orange tones, which is not a lot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select a radial filter. I'm going to just put it over that highlighted area there, and I'm just going to try and see what it looks like with a little bit of colour introduced into it, like so. And if we have a look, the before and after of that, so have a look at the before and after of that, and that's just give a little bit of colour in there. This is just what I wanted. This is fantastic. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually select another grad, and I'm just going to pull it down. Now you notice I'm working on the image zoomed out a little bit, and I like that for putting grads and things like that in, because you can oversize the grads then. So I've just put a grad in there. I'm going to do another linear grad, and I'm going to just go over the top of that one, get it just right, and we'll just pop that in again. And we've almost creating, well, we are creating a more natural vignette. I love how the bell and the shadow in that smooth water as it recedes there, and I'm going to try and just bring that out a little bit. So I'm just going to grab a brush like so, and I'm just going to up the blacks just slightly, and I'm just going to paint over that shadow and just emphasize it that little bit more, like so. We'll just see what it's done, probably next to nothing, just emphasized it just slightly. I like that. I'm going to select another radial filter. I'm going to select it more central, like so. I'm going to subtract subject. Now the subject is quite dominant in this shot, so it should actually do a good job of deselecting the bell. So we'll just see how good a job that actually does with that. Okay, so it has deselected it, and if we up the exposure, you can see that it definitely has. And so we'll just draw that down. But what I'm going to do is just going to up the white slightly. And what this is going to do is actually bring the bell out more, but also give a little bit more depth to that image. And it's what I like. I like that. And with that, I'm going to add another radial grad, and I'm going to just put it in around here, and I'm going to up the whites here as well, because I want to bring that crashing wave in, but I'm also going to the blacks, give it a little bit of definition there. There we go. And then I'm also going to do that on the right hand side, just little radial grads, working with those. Just move that over like so, up the whites a little, drop the blacks a little, and the only other thing I'm going to do now, I think, is just do a little bit of sharpening. So if just up the sharpen, hold the Alt button down, send it right over, and because all I really want to sharpen is pretty much the bell and a little bit of texture in that water. So that'll do. Whack up the detail, drop the radius, up the sharpening. So we'll just have a look at before and after. So that's the before shot, that's the after. I'm really happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed this little quick YourRaw. If you're interested in YourRaw, want one of your images to feature in one of these videos, then don't hesitate to contact me and send half a dozen images, a little bit of a backstory where they are, etc, etc, would be great. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my members area if you're interested in that. $1.99 a month. Okay, till next time, thanks for watching. See you soon.